and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to be looking into the case of Bryer, Schmegelsky, and Mcleod. They are two Canadian, or they were two Canadian teenage fugitives. So that's Mcleod and that's Bryer Schmegelsky. So in July 20th, 2019, Cam and Bryer went on a murderous spree that left Canada in a manhunt mode. They were really trying to find them, really trying to bring them to justice. Cam Mcleod and Bryer Schmegelsky are believed to have killed Lucas Fowler and China Deese before killing Leonard Dick within a 6-day time frame. Nationwide manhunt for these suspects was initiated by the RCMP, and between July 23rd and August 7th, these two boys officially ended their lives by committing suicide near the Nelson River in Gillam, Manitoba. So here's the story. In the summer of 2019, Australian national Lucas Fowler and his girlfriend, American national China Deese, were taking a 3-week road trip around Canada. The couple were having some mechanical problems with their van and had been helped by a passerby at one point, but seemingly had everything under control. They were happy and smiling when they had been last seen. However, by 7 a.m. on July 15th, the bodies of Fowler and Deese were discovered by a highway worker. Both victims were found in a ditch close to their van with their bodies showing visible gunshot wounds. Then on July 19th, another pickup truck was discovered burnt out on the Stikine River Bridge on Highway 37. The body of Vancouver resident Leonard Dick was found 2 kilometers south of the vehicle fire. This was 470 kilometers away from where Fowler and Deese's bodies were found. At the same time, Cam Mcleod and Bryer Schmegelsky were initially reported as missing persons from their Vancouver Island residence, as it was revealed that they were operating a pickup truck that also had been destroyed. However, RCMP started to piece things together and started to realize that these two boys, these missing persons, and the murder victims seemed to be connected. Following the discovery of the burnt out Toyota vehicle, RCMP sought second-degree charges against Mcleod and Schmegelsky in relation to these BC killings. Later the same day that they had the warrant out for their arrest, the pair was captured by video surveillance, which you see in the photos here. They were surveillanced at a Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan store. But the RCMP seemed to always be 2 steps behind this pair. They also had been seen at least a couple times as they journeyed from BC and were on the run from BC to Manitoba. They were seen in surveillance. They were seen at different campgrounds as well, where it was reported that people were scared. They felt like they were being stalked. So I do believe this pair was trying to kill more people than they killed. They were even stopped for a routine alcohol check by band constables in Split Lake, Manitoba. They were eventually released, marking the interaction with band constables as their last confirmed sighting. The RCMP did deploy emergency response teams, a crisis negotiation team, air services, canine units to Gillam, Manitoba and its surrounding area when they realized that these two boys were hiding out in the dense forests. Checkpoints were put up, and as well, I do believe that many of the residents were told to be in more of a lockdown mode. Heavily armed officers were canvassing the area. the RCMP had acknowledged that the area that these two boys were hiding out, which were dense forests, was inhospitable environments, dense forests, swampy terrain, wild animals, basically like bug infested, swampy land, if you can imagine, mosquitoes eating you. This is where they were hiding out, which was like just crazy place to hide out for anybody. Even the most experienced people would not be hiding out there. By August 2nd, Clint Sawchuk, a tour guide for the area of Gillam, Manitoba, spotted a blue sleeping bag at the edge of Nelson River. The police found several items that also belonged to these two suspects on the shore of the river, a damaged rowboat with some of their other items. By August 7th, they did believe that they had found the bodies of Cam Mcleod and Bryer Schmegelsky in thick bush close to the Nelson River. By August 12th, an autopsy report from Winnipeg confirmed that the two bodies found belonged to these wanted suspects and that they did die from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. The pair recorded a series of videos prior to committing suicide, which were quite taunting, quite unremorseful videos in which they confessed to the murders. They gave no motive and expressed no remorse for the killings. And the story has baffled many. And since the two people that did these horrific crimes are no longer here, this has baffled many, has left many unanswered questions of why they did these heinous crimes. And there's no real answers to why they did it. So tonight I want to ask the cards, why did Bryer, Schmegelsky, and Cam Mcleod do these crimes? What was the motive behind these crimes? So I'm just gonna let one card fall out or pop out as it may. Why did Bryer and Cam commit these crimes? What was the motive? Why did they do it? One card only, let it pop out or fall out as it may. Go. Interesting. I really feel like it was just a crime of opportunity. I think there was some planning involved. I believe that they both had a part in it. I do believe that one of these two was maybe the ringleader of the two. But as you can see, there's two different sets of hands here. So they both had a part in it. These wands to me are movement. So it was something that they planned for sure. They planned this and they took action. They planned it and they just went for it. That's just how I see it. I don't know if there was even a reason being, but I do believe this was something that was planned and decided on by both people. I'm just going to pull another card here just to get some clarity on this Two of Wands. Why did Cam Mcleod and Bryer Schmegelsky do this? Let's just get one more card for clarity. Why did they do this? So this popped out. As I mentioned, I feel like it was something that they had planned or worked on. But as you can see, even the Seven of Wands, it's kind of like a defensive thing. I really feel like they planned this and it was just something they wanted to do. Now there's another card underneath it. Yeah, see, so they just, I believe they planned it, they took action. But there's not really like a lot of thought behind it. It's just mostly a lot of action. Like, we're gonna do this. And I do get the feeling too, like they wanted some notoriety from this. But this is all action. It's like action, action. Now we're doing it, action. We're doing it. So I feel like, I don't know if there's a rhyme or a reason even to this. I think they just came up with the plan. I do think they wanted some kind of notoriety. I think they wanted to be held above the rest. And I think it was also, I think one of them was maybe more in control, and whoever that was, I think there was a lot of, it could have been a power dynamic or someone that was more angsty than the other even, or more like evil than the other. But it just seems like a lot of action cards. Like, this is the planning, now we're doing it, now we're carrying it out. And I do think it was partly that they wanted notoriety. And this is just, you know, like defensive. I think they just thought of something and took that plan into action and did it. And I really do believe that they would have kept killing if they hadn't have stopped themselves. So that's just really scary. That's really, really scary that there's people that evil out there that plan these things, that work to plan such horrific things. And I'm just going to stop the reading right there. I think that's the answer. I don't really feel like there was a rhyme or a reason to this. I think these two people were quite evil people for what they did. And they carried it through. So I'm going to end the reading there for tonight. This was on Bryer, Schmegelsky, and Mcleod. And I will see you again soon for the next file that I cover. I wish you all a good night and sleep well.